Oh, how sweet! I found a few spare bucks in my pocket. What should I buy? A candy bar? A cheeseburger from McDonald's? Oh, I know. I'll buy a house. Yeah, you heard me right. With just a few dollars, I can actually buy property. While this is really hard to believe, there are a handful of homes in desirable cities around the world that are listed for as little as $10 or even $1. But, as you can imagine, there's a catch. They're either impossible to renovate, in bad neighborhoods, or even worse. Would you fork up some pocket change for these homes? Victorian Mansion, $329,000. While this home costs a lot more than a little pocket change, it's still an incredible bargain considering the size and ornate details found in the home. Built in 1875 by a wealthy chair manufacturer named Sylvester K. Pierce, this Victorian-style mansion boasts an impressive 10 bedrooms, 11-foot ceilings, and original vintage hardware like door handles and windows. Sounds pretty awesome for $329, doesn't it? However, if you move into this home, you'll never have any alone time again. No, seriously, this place is riddled with spirits. According to different ghost shows and past owners, this mansion comes with a beautiful staircase, a charming kitchen, and ghosts. There are a number of different apparitions that have supposedly been seen here, most notably a little boy who tugs at your legs. He's believed to be a member of the Pierce family. It's also been reported that inanimate objects have moved by themselves. In 2008, Edwin Gonzalez and Lillian Otero moved into the mansion, but eventually had to move out once the spirits got out of hand, according to Realtor.com. As of 2015, the home was under contract with one incredibly brave buyer. At least they never have to worry about feeling lonely on a Friday night ever again. Detroit house, $1,000. Could you ever imagine paying more for a laptop than a home? I couldn't either until I saw this Detroit home listing. As an effort to combat abandoned homes and over 80,000 city-owned structures, the city of Detroit started listing the nicer properties at housing auctions. One home that was listed was a particularly incredible bargain. For just $1,000, you could get a historic Tudor-style home from the 1920s, complete with 7 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and a jaw-dropping 69 windows. All that for $1,000? Count me in. But before you whip out your checkbook, you should know that this home needs quite a few renovations. Sure, it has the charm of an early 20th century home, but that's because it's literally still standing the same way it was back then. Not that many upgrades have been made. It needs new electrical wiring, plumbing, and even new wood floors. And those are just a few things on the list. Needless to say, this old home needs a little lovin'. Do you think it's worth $1,000? New Jersey mansion, $10. Okay, compared to the other houses on this list, this property is a little more pricey at $10 whole. Why buy lunch out when you can spend the exact same money on a house? Well, there is a small catch. One of the conditions of buying this New Jersey mansion is that you'll be solely responsible for moving it off the property it currently sits on. Why would anyone request such a thing? Well, a real estate group had previously bought the land the mansion was sitting on with the intention of building 8 new homes on it, and this old 3,900 square foot mansion is not one of them. But moving a home off a piece of land in one piece isn't like taking out the garbage. There are a lot of moving parts. In the case of this home, moving is actually prohibited by the New Jersey Town Planning Board, who signed a deal to keep the home intact to preserve it. It was built back in 1906, after all. That's pretty old. Another fun fact about the house? It was once owned by Aubrey Lewis, the first African-American to serve as captain of a football team at Notre Dame. Since Lewis passed away in 2001, the home has been up for grabs. However, owing to the fact that it has to be moved, it isn't all that desirable. That's probably why whoever buys it will now be awarded $10,000 by the seller to help with the extensive move. Houses in the UK for €1. Dream of owning a home but can't imagine having enough money for a down payment? Well, you may want to consider relocating to a place called Cobridge in the UK. This town is full of vacant homes for a price that most people can find at the bottom of their purse. In 2015, the UK came up with a way to bring life back to this post-industrial town by selling a bunch of vacant homes for just €1 each. That equates to $1.13. Wow, what a bargain! So, what's the catch? Well, this town and its many vacant homes are definitely in need of some fixing up. In Cobridge, you'll find a pretty canal and charming old industrial buildings. However, the vacant homes and their terraces have been neglected and look more like a scene from TLC's Hoarders than a quaint town. So, while the price of these homes is just €1, buyers are expected to take out a low-interest loan of $35,000 to restore one. They'll also be required to live in the home they bought for 5 years before selling it. While this is still a pretty good deal considering the general high prices of real estate, it's a lot of work with no real guarantee of a profit. But just think, if enough people invested in these little Cobridge homes, the town could really turn into a pleasant place. Homes in Ololai, Italy, $1. When you think of Italy, delicious pizza, old architecture, and beautiful artwork come to mind. But incredibly cheap real estate? Not so much. But in the city of Ololai, there are around 200 homes that are priced at just €1, $1.13 in US dollars. Ololai is located in the mountainous region on the Mediterranean island of Sardinia. These unbelievably inexpensive homes are abandoned and in very poor shape, practically unlivable. They require at least $25,000 in complete renovations, according to CNN.com. But why are these homes listed at just €1? It's all part of an elaborate plan to bring this village in Sardinia back to life. As of now, it's well on its way to becoming a ghost town with a population of just 1,300, and it's barely growing at all. Officio Arbo, Ololai's mayor, explains how the city is proud of its history and traditions and wants to do what it can to keep the town from disappearing from existence. Well, with homes listed at this price, they have a much better chance of getting those homes up and running again. And the plan seems to be working. Well, kind of. As of 2018, 3 homes were purchased, and plenty of requests have been coming in from other countries like Australia and Russia. So, if you're willing to relocate and immerse yourself in the rich Sardinian culture, this may be the deal of a lifetime. A home in San Francisco, $1. If you've ever been to San Francisco, you know it's a beautiful place. But it's also in the top 3 most expensive U.S. cities to live in, according to USA Today. It costs an average of over $12,000 a month in living costs for a family of 4 in San Francisco. Yikes! That's why it's even more surprising to learn that San Francisco is home to a property listed at just $1. Yup, in San Francisco. Pretty wild, right? So, what's the catch here? Why would a house in one of America's most expensive cities be so incredibly cheap? This house sits on a plot of land in Hercules, an eastern region of the San Francisco Bay Area. The property is considered an historic home in the area and is titled Historic Home 54. It's also referred to as Queen Anne, thanks to its Victorian vibes. In 2010, the town of Hercules purchased the historic home in hopes of fixing it up and preserving its character. They put down their whopping $1 and went to work on restorations. To move the property to the city's corporation yard to begin working on it, they had to cut the home in half. But they probably should have thought harder about that move, since they quickly realized they couldn't fork up the time and money necessary to make the home great again. That means someone else has to not only buy the home, but move its 2 halves from the city's property to their own plot of land. Sounds like a lot of work, especially for $1. Now, can you think of anyone that would be interested in these bargain homes for sale? Tell us if you think these homes are good investments over in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a like, share it with your friends, and click subscribe.